What's up, everyone? Welcome to a brand new episode of Game Nights. This show is brought to you by Wizards of the Coast, and today on the show, we have a very, very special guest. You may have seen him on shows like 13 Reasons Why and Critical Role. It's the one and only Christian Navarro.
Yeah, and Christian's character, you may know from 13 Reasons Why, is connected to a specific car, which you may or may not see on set. Speaking of which, we are playing with the brand new cards from Magic's latest sets, Aetherdrift.
Yeah.
This is a really cool setting, pretty unique in Magic. It's kind of a mix between Fast and Furious, Mad Max, Death Race. It's got that kind of vibe. If you like the set and you want to find out more about it, you want to learn about the story, any of the card design, or look at all the card images, you should visit mtg.social/AetherDriftGK. That link is also in the show notes. A lot of cool stuff on the Wizards website.
Yeah, and of course, if you want to pick up those cards, make sure you head on over to cardkingdom.com/command. They've got brand new precons on this set. They have collector boosters, and they have all the good stuff from Aetherdrift, the singles, the sealed product, and more, as well as Magic's other sets coming out in the future. So whether or not you're buying some cards because you've been inspired by today's episode to build a brand new deck, outfit your new one, go ahead to cardkingdom.com/command. The best part is they send all of your cards in one convenient package, so you get it all at your doorstep all at once. You can sleeve it up and get ready to race.
Yeah, get your engine started.
Yeah.
And of course, once you get those cards, you want to keep them protected. The Game Accessories brand that Jimmy and I and people here at the Command Zone trust our own collections to is Ultra Pro. If you go to ultrapro.com/command, they have all kinds of cool products. They have the licensing agreement with Wizards of the Coast, so they're going to have the artwork from Aetherdrift on playmats, on deck boxes, on sleeves. We even have a cool Life Total notepad here. They've got binders. They've got the Mana 8 line. Whatever you need to protect your game pieces and make your battlefield look awesome, Ultra Pro has it. Again, ultrapro.com/command. That's the place to go. They also have all kinds of discounts and deals all the time. So definitely visit.
And one last thing, Game Nights Live is coming to Chicago. Game Nights Live is going to be on February 21st, but the con runs through that whole weekend. It's going to be in the same area as the convention, but actually right outside of it. And the show starts a little bit later. This is our favorite part of the weekend by far. If you're going to MagicCon Chicago, make sure you get those tickets as soon as possible. I'm pretty sure they're very close to selling out, right?
Yeah, they might be sold out at the time. We're not sure. They're very close at the moment. It's going to be, the Game Nights Live show is going to be at the RE Crown Theater, which is on the same level as Hall E, which is where ticketed play is. And we want to always say, you don't need any additional ticket to get into Game Nights Live. If you can get into the convention on Friday, then you can get into Game Nights Live.
Yep.
Yeah. And if you can't make it to Game Nights Live on Friday, we will be there Saturday, Sunday. Rachel's going to be there, our whole team. Tons of other content creators. I know Prof's going to be there and a lot of other people. Yeah. So if you want to go to some meet and greets, maybe get some games in, maybe try and take us out in a game of Commander, hopefully we'll see you in Chicago.
Yeah, again, that's going to be February 21st to the 23rd. Get those tickets soon if they're not already sold out. Hopefully we can see you all there.
All right. Without further ado, everyone, start your engines.
Vroom, vroom.
How's it, everybody? Welcome to the Aetherdrift episode of Game Nights.
We have an incredible guest who's a big fan of the show, and we're also a huge fan of his.
Hi, I'm Christian Navarro. You might know me from some TV and film. Probably heard of a show called 13 Reasons Why. In that show, I get to drive a red Mustang around and make everyone's life hell. Today, I'm gonna make these guys' life hell.
And we are playing with the brand new cards from Magic's most recent set, Aetherdrift.
This set is about racers from all across the multiverse, competing in one giant Grand Prix across 3 different planes.
We're getting a ton of sweet new vehicles, plus some exciting sneak peeks at characters from worlds we haven't even been to yet.
And of course, there's plenty of turbocharged new tech to soup up your commander decks and kick things into high gear.
The commander I'm riding shotgun with today is Redshift, Rocketeer Chief. My commander ramps based on its power, but only for activated abilities. So I plan to pump them with 1/1 counters, then have a ton of mana to grow my board or refill my hand. If I can accelerate into Redshift's big exhaust ability, I'll dump so much stuff on board, my opponents will never catch up.
The deck I'll be behind the wheel of is Hashaton, Scarab's Fist.
Rise and drive in eternity!
Whenever I discard a creature, my commander lets me make a 4/4 copy of it for cheap. So I've got a ton of efficient looters, plus some major heavy hitters to cheat out as tokens. Once I start populating my army of zombified beaters, I'll bury my opponents in the Amonkhet sands.
I'll be racing into battle with the Speed Demon. This deck wants me to start my engines. A new mechanic in Aetherdrift where you boost your speed by making opponents lose life. And I want to get to max speed fast, so my commander can draw me tons of cards right away. Then with some classic mono black value, I'll speed past my opponents to grab that first place prize.
And I'll be playing Captain Howler, Sea Scourge.
Dodge this caravan!
My commander rewards me when I discard cards and then hit my opponents in combat. So I've got efficient looters and evasive creatures to make sure I have the setup and the payoff. With sneaky ways to pump my board at instant speed, I'm sure to nab some KOs out of nowhere and sail to victory.
All right, racers, grab your keys.
It's time to pull up to the starting line.
Start your engines.
Welcome to the table, everyone. As always, it's time to reveal our cool Aetherdrift Ultra Pro playmat.
All right, well, Christian, it is your first time on the show, so we all know what that means.
That's right. I dub thee Sir Christian.
Arise!
Could you imagine if that was a real one?
It's
How many
real.
injuries there would be, you know?
Yeah, you might not have any
my
ear.
ear off, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me,
Yeah.
everybody. Super excited to be here, and I watch you guys all the time, so thank you for having me. This is so much
course.
We're excited to have you on.
All right, there's just one thing left to do. Welcome to game nights.
Only one may stand.
All right, go. I'm drawing for turn. Are we
playing fast?
Yes, we're playing really fast, and I'm talking fast. Sorry to everyone at home. I will be playing a Cinderglade tap, and I'll pass the turn.
All right, I will draw, and I'm gonna play an Undercity Sewers. When that enters, I will surveil, and I think I'm gonna put Faithful Mending in the graveyard, and I will pass.
Okay, I will draw. I'm gonna follow suit. I will play a tapped land, Lonely Sandbar. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Okay, I will kick things off by playing an Urza Saga.
Oh,
No.
gosh.
That comes in on chapter 1. I'm not really an artifact deck, but this land just gets me Soul Ring. And when you're trying to play your commander as fast as possible, it's really good at that.
Tell us a story, Jimmy.
The story is I'm passing turn to you, Christian.
Thank you. Untap my Cinderglade. Draw for turn. I am going to play my mountain. I'm going to tap for 2 mana and play Redshift. Rocketeer Chief, baby.
Eat my dust jumps.
So this is a really cool new commander from Aetherdrift, but what's even more cool is that Christian chose this card as his commander. Redshift, Red Mustang, huh? How perfect is that?
We're just getting started. Turn 2. I hope. I pass the turn.
All right, I will untap, and I'll draw for turn. I will play a Swamp, and I'm gonna cast Likeness Looter.
Ooh.
My commander doesn't do anything unless I can discard cards. So having a discard outlet on turn 2 is a perfect start to my game. I'll pass.
All right, untap and draw. Land for turn will be a Steam Vents. I'll take 2, going to 38, and then I will tap 2. And I'm gonna play sort of a new favorite of mine, Polywog Prodigy.
Nice.
Ooh, that's a good one.
This card is very easy to evolve, especially because I have a commander that's a 5/4, which will bump it up. So if I even just have one other creature in my hand, which I do, then it will have 3 power, and that's the magic number. If you can draw a card when everybody casts a 2-drop, you're gonna be doing pretty good in commander.
I just like Polywog, the word.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a
Polywog.
fun one. Polywog.
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 Polywog a cracker?
Polywog.
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 Polywog!
Polywog.
Polywog.
How come we don't say prodigy funny? That's you could prodigy! Go ahead, Jimmy.
Okay, I will draw my card for the turn, and then Urza's Saga will tick up to its 2nd chapter.
What does that do?
I can pay 2 to make a construct. I don't think
Seems unlikely this turn, but
if I do that.
Yeah. Is it coming?
and now he's visualizing.
I don't know if he's meditating or if he's doing that. So it's only turn 2, and evidently Jimmy's deck is already very complicated because he just goes into Beautiful Mind mode like right away.
There's a lot of muttering and incantation. I can't tell if Jimmy's thinking or casting a spell on me.
What are you doing? Just play your signet and pass.
This is the most complicated turn 2 that's ever happened on the show.
Yeah, I hate it.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and play a swamp as my land for turn and pass to you.
Okay.
I will untap.
So much
Draw
delivery.
my card for turn.
You just played a swamp and passed? What was all that time for?
Here's the thing. I have a land in my hand that would let me activate the Urza's Saga, but if I didn't that, I can't get my commander out the next turn. And it turns out making your plan so far ahead isn't as simple as it looks.
Okay, I'm going to pay 1, play my Soul Ring. Oh my gosh, I got to say that on game nights.
You did.
Dang.
I did it. All you people didn't believe in me. I'm here now.
See, Jimmy, some people draw their soul ring.
Yeah, that's not me.
Then I will go into combat and I will attack Jimmy for 2 because you had a really long second turn.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Well, I have no blocks, so I will take 2 damage and go to 38.
Cool. I'm going to play Spire Garden as my land for turn. I will tap 4 and play my Beast Whisperer.
Oh,
Nice. That's a good start.
His name is Kendrith.
Kendrick.
I just made that up.
You have to whisper it though.
Kendrith the Beast Whisperer.
Yeah.
As soon as I play the Beast Whisperer, everybody quiet it down.
Don't forget to tap your soul ring. You have to be quiet when you play against it.
I pass the turn.
Because it's not called the Beast Yeller.
I will play a Shattered Sanctum as my land for turn. And I guess we do this while your Polywog Prodigy is a mere Polywog. I'll cast Tortured Existence.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna pay 2, and I'm gonna cast my commander, Hashaton Scarab's Fist.
Your race is not over.
Not bad.
Sweet.
This little 1-mana enchantment may not look like much, but I'm expecting this to put in a ton of work.
The combo is right there. Rachel discards a card, makes a copy with her commander, and then at any point, she can recycle that by getting the card back with the enchantment and doing it all over again.
Literally anything could come out next turn.
Yeah.
It's all going according to plan.
Okay, I will untap, draw my card. I will play my mountain as my land for turn. I will tap 2, play a Thought Vessel.
Yep.
I guess I sort of do want to be able to block.
Yeah.
So I will pass the turn. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Okay, I will draw for turn. On my main phase, Urza's Saga is going to go to chapter 3. I will tap Urza's Saga for 1 colorless mana before it gets sacrificed. I will find a Soul Ring. That will go onto the battlefield. I'll play my land for the turn. It's Fellmire, and I'm going to pay 3 life so it enters the battlefield untapped. And then using the 1 floating from Urza's Saga and the rest of my mana, I will cast the Speed Demon.
Got the need.
The need for speed.
Oh man, I'm feeling so good about this game right now.
Jimmy already has a 5-mana commander on the board.
Is it still turn 3? I think it is still turn 3.
I'm the new Drift King, by the way, because I've started my engines.
Oh yeah, the Drift King.
Yeah, that's me. I have no speed, so I start my engines at 1.
Yeah.
Speed is a brand new mechanic from Aetherdrift, and the way it works is, once per turn, if you manage to deal damage to your opponent, it increases to a maximum of 4. At the beginning of my end step, I'm at speed 1, so I'll draw 1 card. Hopefully, I can start increasing my speed as quickly as possible. And the more cards I draw, the quicker I win this game.
In response to that trigger, Jimmy,
Yeah.
I'm going to tap 2, and I'm going to flash out Fairy Mastermind.
Hey, look at that.
That will evolve my Polywog Prodigy.
It do.
So that's now a 2/4. And then your card draw can resolve.
Yep, I will draw a card, and I will lose life going to 34.
And since that's your second card this turn, I will draw a card.
I've seen this before. I see when you do this. I've seen it before.
What, draw cards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everyone knows here, especially, that I love watching game nights. And I know Josh is going to draw a lot of cards, and he'll have an answer for everything. I will untap. I will draw per turn. I'm going to start off by playing the Duskwatch Recruiter.
Nice. This is a must-have in any activated ability deck. It looks expensive, but when your commander makes mana for activated abilities, it just draws you one of the best cards in your top 3.
That'll trigger Beast Whisperer, so I'll draw a card.
That's your second card per turn, so Fairy Mastermind's going to trigger. I will also draw.
Oh my goodness.
It's
the value.
It's like meeting a celebrity. It was exciting. It was exciting.
Yeah, whoa.
And then I'll play Fight Rigging.
Ooh.
Why not race rigging?
When that enters, I'll look at the top 5 cards of my library. I will choose this one to hide away underneath it. At the beginning of combat, I will put a 1/1 counter on my Redshift Rocketeer Chief.
Oh, now it taps for more mana.
It does tap for more mana here.
Synergy.
That's cool.
Christian's commander is pretty slick. It's got vigilance, so when you put counters on it, you're buffing up its power so it can attack, but it's also adding more mana later.
Then Rachel, I will attack you with Redshift.
I don't have any blocks that I like, so I will take the damage.
I pass my turn.
Pretty good turn.
Everybody's got a board state happening here. I think we're all, setting up to do some really cool stuff.
On your end step, Christian, I'm going to activate my Likeness Looter, and I'm going to draw a card and discard Agadeem's Awakening. Then I will untap. All right, we are online now. I get to use my Likeness Looter, discard a card, and make a token copy of any creature in my hand. But I don't have to do it right now, so pass the turn. Go ahead, Josh.
All right, untap.
Because you didn't cast any spells, Duskwatch Recruiter will trigger.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting anyone to not play a card, so now we gotta flip it. Not so good for me because it's actually better on its front. But we can activate it once. That's something. In response to that trigger, I am going to tap my commander, Redshift, giving me 3 mana. I will use that mana to activate the Duskwatch Recruiter. And I will reveal Agatha of the Vile Cauldron.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's a
pretty
scary
good.
one.
And then it will transform into a Krowlin Horde Howler. Creature spells.
Vroom, vroom.
Creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. It's gonna haunt me.
Can I move to my draw step now?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'm gonna play an island for turn, and then I'm gonna tap 4, and I will play my commander, Captain Howler, Sea Scourge.
No, yours is
again.
a shark.
But it's a howler.
It's a shark.
Well, howl like a shark. How's
Sharks can't howl. They don't have the lips for howling.
That was it.
I think that's pretty good.
There's only one werewolf on the table, Josh.
I'm called Captain Howler. I'm gonna howl, damn it.
Okay.
One cool thing about my commander that's kind of easy to miss, it gives the +2/+0 for each card discarded. But you only get the draw clause for each instance of discarding. So when I built this, I really wanted a lot of ways to discard 1 card at a time, because I'd rather draw more cards. I know, you're surprised. That is a bigger creature than my Prodigy, so the Polywog will become a 3/5.
Wow.
That's a big frog.
Suddenly, maybe I'll draw a card from it.
Yeah.
And then, sorry, Christian, I'll attack you in the air for 2.
And I will take 2 damage. Going to 38. Thank you, Josh.
You're welcome. That's all I can do, so Jimmy, take it away.
Okay. Draw for the turn. I will play my land for the turn. It's an Ancient Tomb.
Mana.
This is why my second turn took so long. I thought I could Ancient Tomb Urza Saga and play my commander next turn, but I couldn't.
wouldn't have
I
the
didn't have
black.
the black.
Yeah.
I will tap for 3 mana, and floating 1, I'm going to cast Momentum Breaker.
What is that?
This is an edict effect, which means that everyone on the board has to sacrifice a creature. And because everyone's board states are relatively small, it means I'm gonna get some impactful creatures here.
On cast, that's gonna trigger the Polywog Prodigy. I will draw. We did it.
I'd really rather not sacrifice either of my creatures right now. They're pretty important to my game plan. If only there were a way to get another creature on the board. So I'm going to activate the Likeness Looter, and I'm going to draw a card, and I'm going to discard a Witch Enchanter. That triggers my commander, and I will pay 3 to make a zombie copy of the Witch Enchanter. Ooh. When Witch Enchanter enters the battlefield, I am going to have it destroy your fight rigging, Christian.
It was good while it lasted. Early KO for the fight rigger.
Okay, now we'll resolve the edict effect from Momentum Breaker.
I'll sacrifice my token Witch Enchanter.
I will sacrifice my Howler.
And I will sacrifice my poor Polywog Prodigy.
This edict actually went really well. 2 of my opponents lost draw engines, and I only lost a token with an ETB.
Honestly, not too shaken up about it. It's only a small setback.
I still have 1 flowing from the Soul Ring. I'm gonna add 2 more to that with the Ancient Tomb. That's gonna deal me 2 damage, so I'll go to 32. I will play an Arcane Signet. I've still got 1 floating, so I'll tap that Signet and a land, and I'll cast Gix, Yawgmoth Praetor.
Oh.
My commander already has card draw stapled onto it, so I don't really need the draw from this as much, but the nice thing is it turns my opponents on each other, and as a result, preserves my life total and keeps me longer in this race. I will move to combat. This is actually hard to figure out who to attack here. So I'm gonna leave it up to chance. We're gonna do the old dice roll.
No.
Oh, you bet.
Make a choice.
Nope.
I like
not.
dice roll.
Yeah, so.
Because if he makes a choice, I know he's going to attack.
Yeah.
I like dice roll. I like dice roll.
Yeah, I have a 66% chance of not getting hit here, where before it was 100% chance I was going to get
Josh knows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as it always is.
It will not
That's a
be.
5. Oh, let's roll again. Just kidding. Josh, I will go to combat and I will swing at you with a flyer.
Okay, well, I have no flyers. I will take 5 commander damage and go to 33.
When that deals combat damage, I've got 2 triggers. The first is my speed's going to increase to 2.
It's a speed demon, regular speed demon. Over here.
Yeah, it's more demon than speed actually at the moment.
My Gix will also trigger, so I'll pay 1 life and draw a card.
All right, and that's gonna trigger Fairy Mastermind. I will also draw.
I'll move to my end step, and I'm gonna draw 2 cards and lose 2 life.
Woof.
Yeah, I feel like Josh.
Pretty good.
This is awesome.
Room. He's revving up. Now he's at speed 2, and now I'm starting to see this start your engine mechanic really take hold here.
I'm off to the races.
Gonna tap my lands, and then I'll draw a card per turn. That's what I wanted. Okay, I'm looking at the mana on the field. I have enough to play something pretty big. I have some other options. I can play some smaller creatures, but I think I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tap for 7 mana.
Whoa!
And I will play Itali Primal.
Whoa! Okay, wait, big, bad, scary.
Oh, so we're playing real cards now already.
2 triggers. So the first is off of Beast Whisperer. I draw a card.
Fairy Mastermind, I will draw.
And then, let's do the Itali trigger.
Okay. All right.
This is gonna be nuts. I get to play a spell from everyone's deck.
My deck is full of Reanimator targets. If he hits one of those, we are cooked.
This could be bad.
I will flip Ozolith.
Consuming Corruption.
And I'll reveal Reanimate.
Hey, not bad.
Hey,
Not
that's
bad.
good.
That's good.
So far.
Okay, these hits don't really do anything. Fortunately, there's nothing that scary in the graveyard yet.
And then I will go.
Could have been worse. Could have been worse.
Oh, my Locust God!
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my
Okay.
Locust God. Ugh. I literally have 1 6 CMC Haymaker creature in my entire deck, and it's Locust God, and of course he hits it. What are the chances?
10 out of 10 pool. Very excited that that's happened, and very excited that Josh is not excited about it. I have no swamp, so I can't and won't cast your card, Jimmy. But I will cast the others for sure. When I cast Locust God, I will draw a card. Then I will choose to reanimate Duskwatch Recruiter. Welcome back, baby. I lose 2 life as a result. Go to 36. So then I will go into
Oh my God.
combat.
What is going on over
They
there?
all have summoning
His
citrus.
car is faster than ours, Josh.
Room, baby.
I mean, it's really early in the game, and look at Christian's board and look at the rest of our boards. And don't forget, the Itali can flip into like a Blightsteel Colossus, basically, and he can use his commander's mana to make that happen next turn. So it's already crisis mode.
I don't want to jinx it, but I can't even see these guys in my rear view. I think I'm lapping. Okay, so I'm going to attack with my commander. You, Rachel, my apologies, for 3.
Well, suspiciously, I am going to block.
Whoa!
And I will send Hashaton back to the command zone.
All right, commander v commander.
Smells like a board wipe.
Weird.
Smells like a board wipe.
Weird.
What?
Rachel just chump blocked with her commander. She wouldn't do that unless she was planning for it to die anyway.
This exhaust coming out of Rachel's car smells like a toxic deluge or something.
I might have been sad about it, but I'm not sad about it.
Yeah.
I think that's it for me.
All right, these boys think they're so smart sniffing out this board wipe. I just block with my commander. Of course I have a board wipe. A little appreciation. Josh, I am going to attack you for 1 in the air with a likeness looter.
I don't have any flyers that can block, so I will take 1
I will also take 1 to pay a life to draw a card with Gix.
because that is your second card drawn this turn. I will draw Fairy Mastermind.
All right, and then Jimmy smelled it. It's a toxic deluge. Uh-oh. I'm gonna pay 7 life to clear this board entirely. So I will go down to 29.
Nice to see you here.
I have no effects.
I have no effects.
I will activate my Duskwatch Recruiter, and I will reveal an Olivia's Attendance. And put that in my hand.
All right, toxic resolves.
It does.
All right, all the creatures did. So Rachel just cleanly wipes the board, has to take 7 damage to do it.
I lose a couple of creatures, but honestly, it's worth it.
I'm feeling like I went from first place to roadkill.
Unfortunately, I cannot follow this up with a spectacular play like a Signet or a Looter or any of the many 2-drops in my deck. I will pass to you, Josh.
Okay, on end step, this Locust God will return to my hand.
Oh, that's bad. Oh man, I forgot the text on this card says it goes back to its owner's hand after it dies.
So the worst hit in my deck became the best in a weird way. That was
I don't know. You just drew a Locust God?
Yeah.
At least all of his card draw engines are gone, and it's going to take his whole turn to cast it. Still, we've got to figure out how to exile this creature, or we're going to be dealing with this the entire game.
Okay, I will untap. Now I have the Locust God in my hand and I could play it here and it would be pretty good, obviously. But counting up Jimmy's mana, I have another play which I think will keep him off his commander for the next turn. And slowing down the Speed Demon, that seems like a good plan. I'm going to tap 2 and pay a kicker of 1.
Whoa.
And I'm going to cast Thieving Skydiver.
Oh.
And I'm going to target the Soul Ring.
I
Which
feel
one?
it coming.
Jimmy's.
What?
What?
So Josh steals my soul ring here instead of Christian's. Okay, there you go. You got my soul ring. Not only was I the 4th player to go, I also have the least number of lands. I'm actively killing myself with my own cards, so I don't think this is the right play at all.
Take that, Jimmy.
Okay, then I'm going to follow that up with a Scrawling Crawler.
Oh.
Little help for everybody here.
Little help, he says.
Yeah, that's a little
It's
extra
a
card
little
draw.
help.
And then I have a Thought Vessel, so I don't have to discard any of my 9 cards. Jimmy, go ahead.
I will untap, draw my card for the turn.
Trigger my Crawler.
I will lose 1 and go to 28. Okay, well, I can't cast my commander right now, so I may as well use this as a setup turn. And I have a spicy new card that I can play here that's gonna be pretty sweet. I will tap for 4. I'll lose 2 life to the Ancient Tomb, going to 26. And I'm gonna play the Ether Spark. It's a new planeswalker equipment from Aetherdrift.
What the heck? This is a really strange planeswalker that's unique, first of its kind, really. It attaches itself to things, and then once it attaches, you can't attack it.
I'll +1 it, going to 5 loyalty. I unfortunately have no creatures to play.
I'm afraid of any planeswalker that comes down after a board wipe, but he doesn't have a creature to equip it to right now, so we've got a little bit of time to handle it.
And then I'll pass turn to you, Christian.
I will untap my Soul Ring and my Lance.
Oh, yeah, you're just rubbing it in.
I know, I'm sorry. I will draw per turn.
On that draw, Scrawling Crawler trigger.
I take 1 life, right? I go to 35, I will play Redshift, my commander, for 4 mana. Then I'm going to play Agatha of the Vile Cauldron.
Too salty. Ugh,
Big surprise.
Gross.
We don't know, that could be like a really good matcha she's making.
Agatha is very, very powerful in this deck because Agatha reduces the colorless mana in an activation, and his commander gives you the colored mana you need in activations. Pretty soon, he's gonna be able to activate whatever he wants. It doesn't matter how expensive it's gonna be.
Pass the turn.
Christian, on your end step, I'm gonna activate my Tortured Existence, and I'm gonna discard Mondrak and return Likeness Looter to my hand. And then I will untap and draw for turn. I'll lose a life to the Crawler, going to 28. All right, and then I'm gonna cast Likeness Looter. We're shocked.
It's back.
It's back. I'll pass to you, Josh.
That's it?
Yeah.
She's got
Weird.
cards.
So Rachel passes the turn here, but she has 4 mana. She could have cast her commander and chose not to, which immediately, something that I'm clocking.
It's probably something tricky.
All right, untap. And then we should all draw for Scrawling Crawler.
Ooh, thank you.
And you all take 1.
I'll go to 25.
34.
27.
And then I will draw my card for turn. I'm going to go to combat.
Yeah.
I feel bad about the Soul Ring thing, so I'm not going to hit the Planeswalker. I will swing at you, Christian, with my Thieving Skydiver.
Take it. I go to 32.
And then I will make like Rachel and I will pass the turn.
What?
Oh, we're all tricksy.
Interesting.
I mean, I kind of expect this from Josh, but 8 mana. He didn't tap 8 mana.
Whatever Josh has here, it's better than deploying a Locust God, and that is pretty frightening. All right, on your end step, I'll pay 2 mana, and I'll sacrifice the Momentum Breaker and gain life equal to my speed, which is 2. So I'll go to 27. And then I will untap, draw for the turn. That's gonna trigger Yield Scrawling Crawler, so I'll go to 26. And then I will play a new land. It's Amonkhet Raceway. If I have max speed, I can give a creature haste until end of turn. I do, however, have 7 mana, so I will tap everything, as well as lose 2 life to Ancient Tomb, going to 24. And out comes, once again, the Speed Demon.
Very cool.
Rachel and Josh are both leaving a ton of mana untapped, which means we've got a lot of instant speed shenanigans coming our way. But you know what? The best way to defeat instant speed is with top speed. Here we go.
It backfires.
Yeah.
Man, it's like being a toddler again, and it's great.
Yeah. I'll +1 the Ether Spark, and I will attach it, which is kind of crazy, to the Speed Demon. And when that attaches, it gets a 1/1 counter, so it is now a 6/6.
All right, can't attack the
Whoa, that is
planeswalker
kinda
anymore.
Is it the prize for winning the race?
He stole the trophy before the race is even over.
The true
I
Speed
mean,
Demon.
he's the speed demon.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna...
I can do nothing else. So, on my end step, my speed is 2, so I'll draw 2 cards and lose 2 life, and then I'll lose 2 more because the Scrawling Crawl is on the battlefield.
Is that a May ability?
5, 6,
Or do you
7,
have to
8,
do it?
9.
He's the demon. He
I have
doesn't
to
deal
do
in
it.
maze.
I have to do it. I'm at 20, but I'm not actually that worried because I've got life gain effects in the deck. So I just need to draw in a couple of those, and I'm good to go.
I will untap my Soul Ring and my lands. I will draw per turn.
Scrawling Crawler trigger.
Take 1, so I go to 31.
Okay.
And I will cast Hero's Bane.
Cool.
And it will come in with 5 1/1 counters because of Ozolith, the Shattered Spire.
Not bad.
My commander's all about activating abilities, and this one's pretty good. I can start to pump mana into this ability, and then I'm getting 1/1 counters on top of the 1/1 counters, and I'm feeling like the 1/1 counter king. I will go into combat. Redshift is going to attack you, Rachel, for 2.
2's fine. I'll take 2 and go to 25.
All right, post-combat, I will activate my commander, and I will use that 2 mana to activate the Ozolith, giving Agatha 2 1/1 counters. So now all of my activated abilities cost 3 less. I have a Hero's Bane on the field, that's pretty cool, but I think I got something else up my sleeve. I'll spend 3 mana to play Tyvar the Pummeler.
Wait.
Oh my gosh.
So Hero's Bane, not a big worry, but Tyvar, that's a problem. Because of his ability to pump Christian's entire team, which will make the Redshift bigger, which will tap for more mana, and with the more mana, activate Tyvar additional times. Well, Tyvar will kill us all.
He's kind of built his own Craterhoof behemoth. Agatha giving creatures trample, and then Tyvar together could be disastrous and kill everyone at the table in 1 hit.
On Christian's next turn, we're looking at a bunch of like 1,000 power creatures with trample coming at us or something like that.
Stop me if you can. I pass the turn.
On your end step,
All right, Rachel. Murder Tyvar.
I'm gonna cast Lethal Scheme, which I'm gonna cast with Convoke, tapping my Likeness Looter. I would love to get rid of Tyvar here, but he's got an ability that makes him indestructible. So my removal spell isn't gonna do anything against that. I'm gonna destroy target Scrawling Crawler.
What the heck?
I'm a little confused.
I can draw cards now and not have to feel any consequences because of it. Thanks, Rachel.
My Likeness Looter will connive. I'll draw a card.
Here's the thing, Agatha gives the trample. I don't know why not kill Agatha, because then even if you do the Tyvar thing, at least we could block. I feel like the Scrawling Crawler was not the biggest problem here, right?
And then I will draw for my turn. All right, I think it's time to bring my commander back. I'm gonna pay 4 and recast Hashaton Scarab's Fist.
Yeah.
I know I just spent my removal spell on Josh when clearly Christian's got a lot of power, but I played my commander and I've got a little bit more interaction that I can use at any time. Don't worry, I'm not just dead on board. And then I will pass the turn and see what Josh does.
Okay, on your end step, I am going to tap 4 and to no one's surprise, flash out High Fate Trickster.
Very cool.
This little trickster has become one of my favorite cards pretty quickly. I think if you've been watching our stuff for a while, you're not surprised by that. Wish I had better follow-ups. And then I will, now that I can cast things at flash speed, put out a Merfolk Looter, and then I will pay 2 more and cast a Lizard Blades.
Ooh.
It's a board full of criminals there.
So out of nowhere, Josh has created an instant board state, but not much else has happened. Christian's still a threat. Josh, none of that did anything about this.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Jimmy. If I had it, I would have.
You're gonna untap and pass turn though, aren't you?
Probably. You never know. Let's see what happens. Then I will untap, and I will draw. The problem is I might have to do something just to try and hit a land drop.
Oh my gosh.
All right, I'm gonna activate this Merfolk Looter, and I'm gonna draw a card. The thing that never happens for Jimmy happened to me.
Oh, you got land?
Yeah.
Nice.
And I'll discard a Wonder.
Oh, that's
Oh.
scary.
Wonder is one of those cards where you really want it in your graveyard and not on the battlefield. And now all my stuff has flying for the rest of the game, which feels pretty nice. And then, predictably,
Yep.
I will pass the turn.
That
Okay.
means his hand is straight gas.
I'm the mono black deck, so I've got a lot of removal and board wipes in there, and it looks like it's up to me to try and stop what's going on Christian's board. If I board wipe, would we like that?
It's gonna hurt me if you board wipe because I can't flash things out anymore.
Yeah.
But it's also good for me because I don't want to die. So if that's the interaction that exists out there.
I could also remove one thing. If we remove two things, does that save us?
It gets better. I can remove one thing right now. I would really prefer Jimmy to use single target removal because it means I get to keep my engine online.
If I just kill a couple of things, I might inadvertently put someone else way in the lead. But if I board wipe, it also sets me even further behind. I'm not exactly sure what to do. Has this ever happened to you? You try to eat healthy, but end up going back to the same old junk food?
I want to eat better, but it's just too inconvenient.
Wrong, because HelloFresh makes eating healthy easy.
It does? But how?
I'm glad you asked, little Billy.
Murph, we work together.
With HelloFresh, all the hassle of eating healthy is handled for you. They send pre-portioned ingredients for delicious and nutritious meals straight to your door. That saves you both time and money. There's no grocery shopping and no eating the same thing over and over. HelloFresh has 50+ dinner options to choose from each week. Their biggest menu ever, with meals to fit your wellness goals or diet, like calorie and protein smart recipes. My favorite is the pork chops with mushroom marinara. Look at them taters, yummy. And if you sign up now, you'll also get breakfast for life. That's one totally free breakfast item in every single HelloFresh delivery. Plus, when you subscribe using our link, you're directly supporting everyone here at the Command Zone, including poor little Billy here.
Still Murph.
Click the link in the description or use our code and get 10 free meals plus free breakfast for life from HelloFresh. Again, find that link in the description. One breakfast item per box while subscription is active if you're in the US. Outside the US, the local discount will apply.
Hi there, I'm Redshift. You know, there's nothing more important than love. And I love going fast! That's why nothing gets my heart racing like my RAYCON wireless earbuds! I don't have time to take an hour-long pit stop for dead batteries when I'm zipping through my favorite podcast at triple speed! But with RAYCON's quick charge function, 10 minutes gets me an hour and a half of juice! That's the kind of fast I'm looking for! Plus, their latest model is better than ever! They got 32 hours of battery life, multi-point connectivity, and all sorts of sweet activated abilities! Heck, these earbuds even come with active noise cancellation, which is great when you've got to block out engine noise! Vroom, vroom! And just like me, RAYCONs are efficiently costed, starting at just half the price of other premium brands. With a price like that, I knew I had to snap up a pair quick, especially since they came in my favorite color, yellow! What, you thought I was gonna say red? Joke's on you, I'm a complex person!
Go to buyraycon.com/command to get up to 20% off site-wide. That's right, you'll get up to 20% off everything on Raycon's website, including 20% off all headphones too, when you go to buyraycon.com/command. Again, that's buyraycon.com/command.
Fee, fi, fo, fum. It's your favorite giant, 100-handed one. 100 hands means 100 arms means 100 underarms, more or less. And while I can block 100 creatures no problem, I can't block 100 armpits worth of BO. That's why I use MANDO, the whole body deodorant that blocks odor all day. MANDO makes me smell great. Plus it's safe to use anywhere on my body. And I'm a giant. I've got a lot of body. So with MANDO, I can tackle my New Year's resolutions without smelling monstrous. I'll read 100 books, do 100 push-ups a day, and make 100 new friends.
Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. And as a special offer for our listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code COMMAND at shopmando.com. That's SHOPMANDO.com. Support our show and tell them we sent you. Again, that's code COMMAND at shopmando.com. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando.
Yes, I win! Probably, anyway.
Probably. What's going on?
I just goldfished a huge turn on ARCHIDEKT. Check it out, they've got the best playtester in the business. Playing and tapping your cards is as simple as clicking them. Everything goes right where you want it, but you can drag things by hand and group them together in different ways too. Then there's easy shortcut keys for things like making copies, sending cards between zones, and starting the next turn.
Nice, so this is a Traxa. All that proliferating's gotta take a while.
It doesn't actually. Just right click and hit proliferate all counters.
Oh wow. Yeah, you probably do win.
I think so.
ARCHIDEKT is the best place to browse, brew, and playtest commander decks. Just go to archidekt.com/command-zone to get started.
That's ARCHIDEKT.com/command zone.
If I board wipe, Would we like that?
We're gonna die otherwise, if that's the interaction that exists out there.
I can remove one thing right now.
I could also remove one thing. If we remove two things, does that save us? Which is gonna be better? Single targeted removal or a board wipe? Looking around, I'm kind of leaning towards board wipe because of what Josh just did. And him having flash for the rest of the game is not gonna bode well for the rest of us. I think board wipe is probably the best.
That's fine, yeah.
Unfortunately. But first, let's go to combat.
Okay.
All right, Christian. I'm gonna swing at you for 6 damage.
I take 6 damage.
Okay, when that deals combat damage to you, I'll get 2 triggers. First, I'll add 6 more counters to the Aether Spark, so it's now at 12. And then I'm going to increase my speed to 3. I will then minus 10 the Aether Spark, taking it down to 2, and I'm gonna add 10 mana of any color, which will be black. I'm gonna use 3 of that 10 floating to cast Toxic Deluge, where X is equal to 5.
Oof.
Now I'll go down to 15 life. Second deluge of the game, but this time I actually get to keep my commander alive through all of it. Any responses, table?
Nope.
I'm gonna activate my Likeness Looter. I will draw a card and I will discard a Plains. That's all I got. I imagine you have a response, Josh.
Okay, I guess I'll do stuff. I'll tap 3, and I'm gonna cast Magmakin Artillerist. So whenever I discard one or more cards, this creature deals that much damage to each opponent.
Whoa. Uh-oh.
I know playing this creature out in the face of a board wipe doesn't make sense, right? Because it's just gonna die when the Toxic Deluge resolves. But don't worry, I'm gonna use it to deal some damage right now. And then after that, I'm going to tap 3, and I will cast Kiora the Rising Tide.
Okay.
So when that enters, I will draw 2, and I'm gonna discard a Scalding Tarn and a Mischievous Mystic, and you will all take 2.
I'm at 13.
I am at 23.
I'm at 23 as well.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna be able to do this later, so I guess I will just do it. I'm gonna tap 3, and I am going to cast Windfall.
Whoa.
You know what's really important when you're racing? Keep your hands on the wheel.
Not the way I learned, baby.
Josh's creature plus a windfall means that I'm gonna be taking even more damage, and I just can't let that happen. I have some responses. I'm gonna cast Infernal Grasp, and I'm gonna target your Artillerist, Josh.
Yep, makes sense.
I'll lose 2 life and go to 11.
That's gonna make this wheel a lot less impactful. It's not the end of the world. I don't get the damage, but I'm still gonna get the windfall.
Then, because I'm gonna discard it, I will cast Deadly Rollick for free. Everything's dying, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I guess I'll get rid of Tyvar to exile it.
All right, wheel happens.
Wheel happens.
All right, let's discard our hands,
How many cards are we drawing?
and we will all draw 6 cards. So I draw the cards off the windfall, and it is atrocious. I did draw a 1-drop, so I guess I will cast Soul Ring. I have 4 lands and a card that's in my deck mostly for the memes. And the Toxic Deluge is still on the stack, gonna resolve and wipe my entire board. So I'm about to be in a terrible position. I believe now we have the
Board
Toxic
wipe.
Deluge on the stack. Everything gets -5, -5?
Yep.
They do.
Wipe the board! And my commander doesn't die because it was a 6/6.
Yeah, pretty good.
I will send my commander to the graveyard.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Deja vu, Toxic Deluge. Again, everything smells horrible. At least the cards that I got in my hand from the windfall, better than the ones that were there.
I have a plan to rebuild, but it is going to take me a little while. Luckily, I've got Tortured Existence to get those pieces back in my hand.
I still have 5 mana floating, so I'll use 4 of it to cast Gaunty Night Minister. I'll add 3 to that, and I'll cast Camber the Plunderer.
Cool.
Okay, I finally get a card out here that's hopefully gonna gain me some life, and I really need it at this point. Then I'll go to my end step, my commander will trigger, I will draw 3 cards and lose 3 life.
Oof.
And I'll go to 8.
So Jimmy is clearly ahead here, but he's at 8.
I am playing pretty risky. One wrong move and my game could be over, just like that.
And we'll untap, upkeep, draw. Okay, starting with a empty board again. Thank you, Jimmy. I'm gonna bring out Goblin and Narcomancer.
Oh, okay.
And then I will cast my commander for 5.
Nice.
Broom, broom.
This is now the 3rd time I've played my commander in not that many turns. I have no choice. I have to get my commander out. It's a lot of mana, but my hand doesn't work without him on the field. And finally, I will play this Birds of Paradise.
fly over the competition.
Not quite as good of a rebuild as last turn.
No, right, yes.
As far as I can see, he doesn't threaten to win the game next turn.
I pass the turn.
On your end step, I would like to get my commander back. I am going to activate Tortured Existence. I'll discard Rafine to get Hashaton back into my hand. All right, and before I take my turn, I'm gonna cast Bitter Triumph, targeting your Camber.
No, my life linker.
I'm gonna choose to pay 3 life to do so.
It dies. Oh, crap. Oh, man, I really need that card to stay alive.
As long as we can keep Jimmy's life total low, I think he's kind of a non-issue. All right, I will untap. Once again, on a clean board, I will replay my commander, Hashaton, Scarab's Fist. And all of these I can kind of do at instant speed, so I think I'm gonna pass the turn.
All right, I will untap, draw my card. The windfall was quite bad for me.
Wheel again.
I don't have another one. Okay, I'm gonna pay 6, and I will bring back my commander, Captain Howler. Next, I am going to cast Surly Badgesaur.
Ooh, okay.
This card is one that pays me off when I discard things. The problem here is I obviously don't have anything else going on. I just gotta hope I top deck something that draws me more cards or kind of gets me moving, because right now I'm at a full stop. And then I'll pass.
Okay, untap. I'm in a dangerous position here. Even if no one does anything to me, I'm on like a 2-turn clock thanks to my commander's ability. Whose deck is gonna have the things that are most interesting to me? I gotta look as many cards as I can to either gain life, take out my own commander, or just find another way to live. All right, we're gonna go to combat, and Rachel, I'll swing at you with Gonti, and Josh, I'm gonna swing at you with the Speed Demon.
Before damage, I'm gonna activate Tortured Existence, discarding Riptide Gearhulk.
Ooh.
I'll make a token copy of it. This is a new card, and when it enters for each opponent, I put up to 1 target non-land permanent into its owner's library, 3rd from the top.
Wow. Yeah, this card seems insane for Rachel, because one of the things about her commander is that it doesn't exile the card when she creates the token copy of it. And if she can get that removal every single turn, she's gonna pull away from the pack here if we're not careful.
When that enters, I will target Surly Badgersaur, Jimmy, your Equipment Planeswalker, and Christian, your Ozolith. So all of those go into your library, 3rd from the top. And then I will return Mondrak from my graveyard to my hand.
The last thing I want to do is put more cards into my deck that I have to draw later because I'm trying to dig for an answer right now.
You can have Ozolith. As long as my commander's on the field, we're okay.
Go to the damage.
Yep, I will take 6 and go to 26.
And I'll take 3, going to 17.
All right, Gonti has 2 triggers, so I get to look at the top card of both of your libraries and exile them and potentially play them. Thank you. I'll take one here.
Yep.
There's some good stuff in my deck.
Interesting. My engines are now at maximum speed.
Kind of good for us if he can't kill his commander.
My own commander, yeah.
We'll see if the Speed Demon crashes into a wall.
I didn't get good cards off of this Gonti, but technically, I do have a solution for my commander, and it's not quite a pretty one, but it'll do. I'm going to tap 5 mana, and I'm gonna cast Blasphemous Edict.
Oh boy.
Everyone, you're gonna have to sacrifice
Another
13
one,
creatures of
right.
their choice.
This game starts off, and I think I'm doing well here. All of a sudden, board wipe, and now here we are again. Board wipe.
So sorry to have killed everyone's commanders a billion times.
I will send Hashaton back to the graveyard.
I'll also put my commander in the graveyard.
I guess I'm glad I have a Tortured Existence, or I would actually be done. Like, I
don't need to go to my end step and die, so I'll pass turn to you, Christian.
On your end step, I will crack Wooded Foothills.
All right, I'm feeling a little bit better about my position. I'm still at 8 life, but better than before.
I will find a commercial district. I surveil, put that back on top. I will untap. So after a few board wipes, I'm looking at that Tortured Existence and I'm thinking, too much value, too much power, gotta take care of it. So that's exactly what I do. I'm gonna channel Beseiju.
Ah!
What are you gonna target?
I'm gonna target that Tortured Existence.
This is good threat assessment and a good heads up play by Christian because we're all slowing down, running out of gas, but she was gonna be able to keep getting her best stuff back and sort of cycling it in and out.
Okay, well, I'm going to pay black, and I'm going to activate the Tortured Existence, discarding a Mondrak to get my commander back to my hand. And then I'm gonna activate this Marsh Flats, paying 1 life, going to 16. And I'll find a basic swamp, And then I'm gonna activate Tortured Existence one more time.
Oh my gosh.
I'll discard an Angel of the Ruins and get back a Likeness Looter. And then my Tortured Existence will end.
And you get a land.
I'm gonna find a Meticulous Archive. And when that enters, I will surveil one. I'll leave that on top. Yeah, that Tortured Existence really had to go, but I kind of think it's already done the damage. I just have to find another discard outlet, and I'm in really good shape.
Redshift is 8 to put
2,
right
3,
now,
4,
right?
5, 6,
2
7, 8. Oh,
of
you
the
can't do
office,
it.
I can't, yeah. So I'm looking at my hand. There's not really anything that I can do right now that's gonna help me out. I think it's time for a new hand. I think what I have left to do here, gentlemen, lady, is to play a Wheel of Misfortune.
Oh!
Okay.
Whoa! Count me excited. My hand has pretty much nothing in it, and a wheel would be exactly what I need right now. Wait, before we bid, I do have one spell I have to cast out of my hand because it might go away. I will cast a Dark Ritual.
Oh.
Add 3 black mana to my mana pool.
Okay. I guess we know he wants to wheel.
I want a wheel. I want a wheel.
So the way this works, everyone chooses a number. The person who chooses the lowest number does nothing. No new cards. Everybody else, they get to wheel. And the person who chose the highest takes that much damage.
Okay, I'm gonna give us each a dice, and then we will put our hands over it and reveal all at once. If you would like to bid a higher amount than the dice will allow,
I cannot.
Jimmy will die, so don't do that.
I really want to wheel. Everyone knows that now, and I only have 8 life, so this makes the bidding even more complicated. So if I bid 7, let's just assume I bid 7. This changes
assume that.
everyone to want to bid a little bit like 6 and 5 and all that stuff. But if
It just depends on how badly we want to wheel. 'Cause
how
if-
badly, yeah.
The thing about Wheel of Misfortune is you need to look at each other player and kind of judge how badly they want to wheel, and therefore what number will they say.
There's a lot of thought process behind what number you pick here.
I think everyone wants to wheel.
Everyone wants to wheel.
Usually it's like, this person doesn't want to, and you don't have to bid that much.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've been in a Wheel of Misfortune that is so unclear.
So I know everybody thinks that I'm like really want to wheel here, but actually my hand is pretty good. So my goal with my number is to guess what my opponents are guessing. Because if I can get one of them not to wheel, this has gone great for me.
Jimmy is crazy and would do 7.
Yeah. He's got to be doing high.
I really don't know how this is gonna go.
The mind games here are crazy.
I've already decided.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
I've
Are we
set
ready?
my
I think I made
fate.
my mind
Already?
up.
Okay,
Ready?
let's put it down here and we're all gonna reveal. We got it?
Yeah.
Secret
Okay.
Dice Hut.
Jimmy, count us down.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Reveal.
8.
I bid 3.
5.
5.
It worked.
Okay.
I didn't have to die.
I didn't believe
what any of you were saying.
Yes! Oh, this was perfect. I get to wheel. I lose no life. I almost bid 7, but I was pretty sure the way I communicated around the table that someone was gonna do 8.
All right, so I'm not wheeling.
The rest of us will wheel, but Christian, you will take 8.
Go to 14.
All right, so let's discard our hands.
Ultimately, I wanted new cards. I got new cards. I'll take the damage.
This did not go well. This did not go wheel.
I want to say I am discarding the card Fast and Furious.
No way!
Which I was so excited to put into my deck. I wanted to pause and draw attention to it because its inclusion was not just about good deck building. It was about family.
So everyone draws a fresh 7.
Not everyone.
Oh, right. Everyone but Rachel draws a fresh 7.
Yeah, Wheel of Misfortune always leaves somebody out.
All right, these next 7 cards are definitely way better than what I just had in my hands. However, it really sucks to be 4th player to go.
Okay, I will play Forgotten Ancient.
Pretty good when everyone's got to rebuild.
So we have this board wipe, and I have an opportunity here to get ahead of the curve for a little bit because Ancient is going to just keep boosting as everyone keeps playing spells.
All set?
Pass the turn.
All right, I will untap and draw for turn. First things first, I'm gonna pay 1 for a Soul Ring.
Okay, so that will trigger Forgotten Ancient. It'll get a 1/1 counter. It is now a 1/4.
And then I will pay 2, and I'm going to recast my commander, Hashaton.
Forgotten Ancient will get another counter.
Normally this deck plays a little slow, tries to move at instant speed, but I have a very cool token to make that cares about my end step. After casting my commander, I'm going to flash back Faithful Mending. I gain 2 life, going to 18, draw 2 cards, and then I'm going to discard 2.
Uh-oh.
I will discard an Ocelot Pride and a Likeness Looter. When I discard the Ocelot Pride, that will trigger my commander, and I will make a copy of Ocelot Pride. Except it's a 4/4, so I will gain the City's Blessing. because I have 10 or more permanents.
And you gain
good.
life this turn.
I did!
Wow.
That will trigger Forgotten Ancient for another one.
It sure will.
So that is a 3/6 now.
And I'll move to my end step. And because I've gained life this turn, I will make a cat token. I also make a copy of every token I've made this turn.
Oh boy.
Including the Ocelot Pride token.
Wow. Did you see what just happened? 2 Ocelot Prides, not to mention they're both 4/4s with First Strike and Lifelink.
On her next end step, she's gonna make even more cats and also potentially discard something else that she can then make a copy of additional times.
How are you feeling?
That was sweet.
Good.
I did something proactive with my commander. I'm excited.
It's pretty good.
A board! A proactive, cool board! We did it!
Untap, draw for turn. So the Wheel of Misfortune got me a little bit more gas, which is nice. I just need setup here to kind of get going again. I will begin by paying 8 mana to cast my commander for the 3rd time.
Nice.
Next, I am going to tap 4, and I'm gonna cast Surly Badgesaur.
So that is 2 spells that you cast. Forgotten Ancient is now a 5/8.
Okay, then I am going to tap 2 and cast a Kickoff Celebration.
Ooh, a new one.
I'm gonna start my engines.
Hey.
All right.
Not that important. More importantly, when it enters, I can discard a card. I'll discard this mountain. I'll draw 2.
That will trigger Forgotten Ancient one more time. So that is now a 6/9.
And then that'll trigger the Badgesaur. I'll make a treasure because I discarded land. And that'll also trigger Captain Howler. So I will target Captain Howler to get +2/+0, and when it deals combat damage, draw a card. We triggered the commander, so
Yeah.
we did it. And as impressive as that was, go ahead.
Josh's board state once again fills up pretty quickly, and don't forget, all of his creatures have flying, which means that I'm just 1 attack away from dying here. I am going to tap for 6 mana, and I'll play 2 spells, Abyssal Harvester and Braid's Arisen Nightmare. At this point, my best option is to just build up my board state, get some blockers. None of them are flying, but it's better than nothing.
That'll trigger Forgotten Ancient 2 more times. So that will be an 8/11 now.
On my end step, I'll sacrifice this land. And if you all don't sacrifice a land, you lose 2 life, and I'll draw a card.
I'm going to choose to sack my mountain.
I'm gonna sack a plains.
I will sack this island.
Okay. I do not draw any cards. Pass turn, Christian.
Untap my lands and draw. I am going to cast Ozolith again. Trigger Forgotten Ancient. It will become a 9/12.
Okay.
Surprise. I redraw my Ozolith, 3rd from the top because of Rachel's card, and I think now I can start doing something here that might resemble playing well. We'll see. And then I'll play Innkeeper's Talent.
Yep.
So Innkeeper's Talent will trigger Forgotten Ancient again, but because of Ozolith, it gets 2 more counters on Forgotten Ancient.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. And then I will go to combat, which will trigger Innkeeper's Talent, putting 2 1/1 counters on Forgotten Ancient. So that will go to 13.
This Forgotten Ancient is growing really, really fast.
That thing is big, but Forgotten Ancient does not have trample. I can block it.
I will not attack. I will hold the line here. And then I will play Garruk, Primal Hunter.
Whoa.
So that's 2 more counters on Forgotten Ancient.
15, 18?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Wow.
And then I'm going to burn Garruk for 3. Draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control, which would be 15.
Woo!
Wow, that's sweet at least.
Suddenly, I have to start looking at Christian again. With all this card advantage, that is an opportunity to find unblockable, find trample, or just find more threats.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Josh, are you proud of him?
I'm very proud.
That was sweet.
Well, I would have been more proud if he like somehow hurt Rachel in some way, but this
Yeah.
is, you know,
Yeah.
the next
Do it
best
all.
thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I will activate Innkeeper's Talent, level 2. So permanents I control with counters on them have ward 1.
Cool.
I can't play anything, so I'm gonna have to discard a bunch, but
You keep the best ones.
yeah. So I discard 8 cards, and the cards I'm left with, spoiler, there's some good ones. Pass the turn to you, Rachel.
All right, I will untap, draw for turn. Without a discard outlet, my commander doesn't do anything. Luckily, I have another one, and it works right away. I'm gonna cast Ledger Shredder. And then
Hold on a second.
Josh is
counter
thinking.
spells.
It's a good one.
I'm most scared of Rachel, and I really don't want her to get fully back on her feet here. The thing that's gonna hold her back the most, in my estimation, is the ability to discard things, so I wanna limit that as much as possible. in response, I'm going to Arcane Denial that.
Oh, okay. I will shred no ledgers. Well, this counterspell isn't my favorite, but I have a follow-up play that will help me out here.
That was 2 spells cast, so that's 4 more counters for Forgotten Ancient. 1922.
Well, I've got another spell. It's a Guardian Scale Lord.
Danger zone.
So when that enters the battlefield, I'm going to back up the Ocelot Pride.
Oh boy.
So it will gain the ability of this Guardian Scale Lord.
I was hoping she didn't have anything else that would allow her to sort of play around with her graveyard, but unfortunately she also has this card.
It's gonna allow Rachel to reanimate something from her graveyard and just build her board state up even more.
You triggered me again. Forgotten Ancient, going up to 21.
Then I will go to combat. And attacking Jimmy is tempting, but I think Josh has more cards and more mana. So Josh, I will attack you with both kitties.
Okay.
When the Ocelot Pride attacks, that's going to trigger the Guardian Scale Lord ability, and I'm going to bring back the Riptide Gearhulk.
Come on.
And when it enters, I will target Surly Badgersaur, Abyssal Harvester, and that huge Forgotten Ancient.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yep.
And I will pay for the ward.
Well, we've seen it a couple of times now, and I'm willing to say that Riptide Gearhulk, it's a pretty good card.
I had a really big boy, and he's gone.
9 damage coming, Josh.
Yep, I take 9, I go to 17.
And I'll gain 9 from the lifelink, going to 27.
Wow.
And then I will move to my end step, and both Ocelot Prides will trigger. And I will make a total of 6 additional cats.
You ever been in a car with like 6 cats? That's
No.
deadly.
I don't even think I've been in a house with 6 cats.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
I'd die.
Are you that
I'm allergic.
Yeah.
So it's becoming very clear that Rachel is the problem.
Rachel's life gain and the ability to just continuously recur removal and stuff like that, I'm not gonna be able to beat it. This sucks. On my upkeep, I will draw for Arcane Denial,
And I'll draw 2.
and then I'll draw for turn. I'm going to cycle this Ash Barrens. And I'll search my library for an island. I'll put that into my hand. That was discarding a card. So Captain Howler will give itself +2/+0 and that ability to draw cards when it hits. Rachel, you just have that 3/4 flyer?
Just the 1 flyer.
All right, then I'll go to combat and 7/4 flyer coming at you.
Well, I think this Guardian Scale Lord is pretty important, so I will not block and go to 20.
On that damage, the ability will trigger and I will draw. And my speed will increase to 2.
Nice.
Second gear. Oh, you're pretty good at that.
Yeah, 4 years on the show, baby.
All right, I'll pay 2 for a Mind Stone.
Oh, that thing's
Okay.
getting cracked.
Yep.
Cycle it.
I'll crack a Mind Stone. And I wish I had cycling. That would have been a little bit better. Floating 1, and I'll draw. I guess I'll just put a few things out.
Sure.
So I will cast Unctus. I'll follow that up with Ragavan, and then 1 more Kitsa. I've just decided here, if a 4th board wipe gets played in this game, I am going to lose. So let's just put everything we can out and hope that next turn I can make things happen. Jimmy, good luck to all of us.
Good luck to all of us, Godspeed. All right, on your end step, I'll pay 3 mana,
Whoa.
losing 2 life, going to 6.
6.
And I will flash out this Nimble Obstructionist.
Oh, you got it from me.
So I'm feeling pretty dead here. My best hope is that people just ignore me. Seems pretty unlikely, but I do what I can. I'm going to tap 4 mana, taking 2 from the Ancient Tomb, going to 4. I'm going to replay the Aether Spark. Yeah! And then I will +1 it and equip it to my Nimble Obstructionist. And Nimble Obstructionist is a 4/2.
All right.
Then I'll go to combat. Rachel, I'll swing at you for 4 in the air.
Yeah, I will take 4. Going to 16.
Okay, that will put 4 loyalty counters on the Aether Spark, putting it
Yikes.
at 9. And then I will tap 2, and I'll play a Howling Mine.
Oh. This is exactly what I want to see from Jimmy right now because I've deployed kind of all of my useful cards. So getting extra card draw would be really helpful. Thank you, Jimmy.
I'm gonna go to my end step, and Braids will trigger, and I'm gonna sacrifice my Howling Mine.
Never mind. I take back the thanks, Jimmy. Thanks for nothing.
So if you want to not lose 2 life and have me draw a card, you will have to sacrifice an artifact.
I will not sacrifice, so I will lose 2.
Okay?
I'm gonna sacrifice my Soul Ring.
Okay?
I will sacrifice my Thought Vessel.
All right, so I will draw 1 card from that. Okay, that's it. I think I'm dead. Pass turn, Christian.
I will join you shortly. I will untap. Draw. I will play Bristly Bill.
Cool.
Tap for 2 there. Then I will pay my land for turn. That'll put a counter on Billiam, which will become 2 counters because of Ozolith. It becomes a 4/4. I'm looking around the table. Rachel's got a sick engine going. Her board state is pretty intense, and I'm not seeing anyone really step in and do something, so I think I'm gonna have to take matters into my own hands. And then I'll tap the rest of my mana and the Soul Ring to play Shatter Skull Smash.
Whoa!
X is 6, and I will target the Ocelot and the Scale Lord.
Kablamo!
All right, this is pretty good. This is taking 2 really important pieces off Rachel's board.
There goes my plan to get stuff back from my graveyard. There goes half my lifelink. That definitely hurts.
Enter combat, I add 2 more 1/1 counters because of Innkeeper's Talent. Bristly Bill is now a 6/6. I did what I can.
That was pretty
That's my
good.
turn.
I mean, I feel much further behind now. I will untap and I will draw for turn. I'll cast an Azorius Signet.
Sure.
You are late. I was doing the cool thing. Now I am all out of gas. Jimmy, I will attack you for 4 with my Ocelot Bride.
No cats, huh?
I block with braids.
My Ocelot Bride will snack on braids.
Yum yum, 4 life to you.
Currently, I think I can survive a turn rotation. Still, this is where Wonder starts to become a very real problem. I will go to my end step and I will trigger Ocelot Pride. I'll make 2 cats. And that is my turn.
Even though Rachel's been taken down a peg and a lot of her board has been picked apart, if I look at Rachel and I look at Jimmy and I look at Christian, it's still Rachel that I'm the most worried of. I'm gonna try my darndest to knock Rachel out, but I am gonna have to draw well. All right, well, let's start by activating Kitza for the loot ability. I will draw, and then I will discard this island. That will trigger my commander. I will target Ragavan. And then Unctus is gonna trigger when Kitza becomes tapped. So I will draw, and I will discard this mountain, and I'll trigger my commander a second time, and with that trigger, I will target Unctus. I was hoping to draw good, and well, I drew gas here, just straight gas. Then I'm gonna cast Faithless Looting.
Nice.
That's a pretty good hit. So I will draw 2, and I will discard a Reliquary Tower and an island. And with that Captain Howler trigger, I will target Ragavan a second time.
Now it's swing back into Josh's favor.
Josh kind of lulled us into a little safety here because I'm paying attention to Rachel's board. All of a sudden, his board state is starting to build up.
I'm gonna cast Benthic Biomancer. I will activate it right away.
Out of nowhere, Josh's deck kind of just exploded.
I will discard this Shoreline Looter, target Unctus with that Howler trigger. This is by far the best my deck has performed all game. I will add Inti to my board, but I'm still counting it up and it's like, do I have enough damage? Then I'll go to combat. Rachel, I will swing everything I can at you in the air.
Yep.
Unctus will trigger when Captain Howler becomes tapped. I'll draw and discard this mountain. And with that trigger, I will give Captain Howler a +2/+0. And that's me discarding a card. So Inti will exile the top card of my library. I can play it this turn. It's a Forgotten Cave. And I have a second attack trigger, which is Inti. I will discard this Generous Plunderer. So I will exile a Desert of the Mindful. And I'll put the counter on Ragavan.
That's a big monkey.
And with that Captain Howler trigger, I will target Captain Howler.
Ugh, so that's 24 damage coming at me?
And remember, I have Wonder in my graveyard, so all my stuff has flying.
Ugh, I am dead here. Dead as a doornail. Got nothing in my hand that does anything. You got me. Well, unfortunately, I don't have any cards that save me from an onslaught of flyers, so I will be...
Oh no!
Is that a shark? Ah!
On all that combat damage, there's a few triggers. Ragavan will give me a treasure. And there were 6 instances of Captain Howler's ability, so I will draw 6 cards.
Come on.
1, 2, 3,
Pretty
4,
good.
5, 6.
Now that Rachel's out, which is by the way completely unexpected given how much life she gained, I think the clear threat now is Josh, who did a very classic Josh thing, which is wait, and at the right moment, strike so hard your opponents don't have a chance of catching up.
My speed will go up to 3, and then as my last trick, I will cast Jace Vryn's Prodigy.
Prodigy!
Oh my goodness.
Looter number 2.
Is that it?
That's it, go ahead. So we're down to 3 players here, and I'm feeling really good. I easily have the best board. All my stuff still has flying. I have 3 blockers, and there's only 2 creatures on the battlefield that aren't mine. I can't see any way right now that they can get to me.
I'll untap and I'll draw for turn. Oh, it's the Abyssal Harvester.
All right.
I'm so sorry.
I'm going to -5 the Ether Spark, and I'm going to draw 2 cards.
Nice. This card's been busted.
I will play a Cabal Coffers as my land for turn. I will play Ayara, First of Lochthwain.
That's a good one.
So everyone is going to lose 1 life, and I will gain 1 life.
The drain effect on this card is the part you need to worry about, but it's pretty slow. What's Jimmy gonna do, chain together 10 creatures? I don't think that's very likely, so this is not a huge problem.
I will tap my Ancient Tomb and Cabal Coffers to add 4 black mana to my mana pool. I'll lose 2 life, go to 3.
Life on the edge.
And then I will add 2 more mana to that, and I will play Sengir, the Dark Baron. Yeah.
That would have been good a turn ago.
Yeah, when you died, yes, for sure. That's gonna trigger my Ayara, so everyone is going to lose 1 and I'll gain 1. Well, I'm pretty checked out at this point. I don't have a way of winning right now, and I just gotta pray and hope that Christian has something to do that'll keep me alive and maybe take out Josh, but it's a lot to ask for. Josh, I will swing this 4/2 flyer in the air at you.
Okay, I'm gonna block with my Benthic Biomancer.
The creatures are gonna trade then. When those creatures trade, Sengir, the Dark Baron, is gonna see both of them. So that means I get to put 4 1/1 counters on it, making it an 8/8. I think that's it for me. Pass turn to you, Christian. Best of luck.
Thank you, sir. Untap all of it. Now we're down to 3 players. I'm looking at my hand, and I think I can take out Josh in this next turn. Who knows? Josh might have an answer. He often does, so I'm a little nervous. Order of events here. So, okay. I will play my land for turn. Bristly Bill will trigger, giving it 2 1/1 counters. And then I'm going to play Sword of Fire and Ice.
Whoa! Josh, those are your colors.
Protection from Josh.
So this is about the worst card that Christian could play here because it gives protection from blue and red, and my entire deck is blue and red.
Sword of Fire and Ice, more like Sword of Josh Lee Kwai.
Well, I only have blue or red creatures, so that's bad.
Would you look at that? Protection from red and blue means Josh won't be able to block Bristly Billiam.
Now I'm doing math, and with the Ozolith, the Innkeeper's Talent, he doesn't even need to play any other cards from his hand to get it big enough.
Josh, do you have an answer?
All right, hang on. In response, I will play Frantic Search.
Okay.
He's digging.
I will draw 2.
Josh frantically searching here is a great sign for us because it means he doesn't have the answer in his hand. And if that's the case, I don't even think I have enough fingers to cross to hope he doesn't find it.
When I discard, that will trigger Inti, so I will exile the top card of my library. It's a Sulphur Falls, which I will not be able to play, so I'm just gonna keep it in exile. I guess I gotta keep going here, because if I can stop that, it feels like I have to.
We're digging.
I'm open to all interaction options. Removal, artifact destruction, bounce. I will cast Thrill of Possibility. I am searching for anything that will keep me from dying here. Draw 2.
Okay.
Are you thrilled? Are you thrilled right now?
I'm less than thrilled, if I'm being honest. And that was discarding a card, so I will Inti, Professional Facebreaker. Yeah, I didn't find anything.
Okay.
I gotta stop there.
Okay.
It resolves.
I think it worked. I can't believe this. I get to say I took out Josh on game nights. I will move to equip that to Bristly Bill.
Cool.
I'm gonna activate Ozolith. Put 2 more 1/1 counters on Bristly Bill. I will go to combat. Innkeeper's Talent gives it another 2 counters, going to 14/14.
Okay.
And then I will attack Josh with Bristly Bill.
That's bad. I can't block, so I will take 14.
14.
Sweet.
I'm now down to 1 life, and the extra damage from the sword is what's gonna knock me out.
Sword of Fire and Ice is going to trigger. Josh, I'll do 2 to you.
I can't believe what is happening right now. Christian is going to kill Josh in one huge alpha swing. What? And the best part is, when Josh dies, I gain the life he had at the beginning of the turn. Oh my gosh, this was perfect.
But before Fire and Ice happens, I'm going to play Chaos Warp. I'm going to target Sengir.
No! Ah, shucks. Okay, all right. Christian knows you can't allow me to gain all that life. That sucks. No response. Sengir is gonna go ahead and get shuffled into my library.
So I take care of the Sengir, I shuffle that into the deck. Now he can draw anything off the top there.
The way we like to do it here on the show is that if you Chaos Warp me, you get to cut the deck and choose the fate. Come on, something good, something big, something scary, anything good.
It's weird, but yeah, the entire game could come down to this flip off this Chaos Warp.
I'm hoping it's nothing that can kill me.
Here we go. Give me Changeling Outcast. It's a black creature. So when this enters the battlefield, each opponent loses a life and I gain a life.
Oh, man.
Yeah, not bad actually, because this is gonna trigger my Ayara and ping and kill Josh. So I'll go up to 5.
Yep.
I go to 9.
I go to 0. This is bad for Christian because he doesn't draw the card now.
Yeah.
Fizzles the Sword of
This
Fire.
is how it happens. What the Jimmy?
So I thought I was going to die to a Sword of Fire and Ice, but instead I died to a 1-point drain from Ayara, which is way less cool.
So Josh is gone. Now I have to deal with Jimmy.
Is there anything else on your turn, Christian?
That is my turn. Once it comes back to me, if it makes it around, the cards that I got in my hand can help me get there. The problem is, I don't have much life to work with.
It's very close.
By the grace of God, I'm still alive.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I cannot believe it.
This game just got real. I thought I had no chance in this game just a turn ago, but now Christian's shields are down and he's at 9. Do I play this out? I do have this. In my hand, I do have a creature and I am able to give it haste thanks to that Raceway, but even with Ayara on the board, it's not gonna be enough damage to kill Christian.
You play the Harvester, he goes to 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're 1 away.
I also have a card called Dark Deal, which is kind of like a wheel, but I draw less cards than I currently have. Harvester Dark Deal, potentially. I mean, there's also a chance I just get a better card from a Dark Deal drawing me 1 more. If I play the creature and then Dark Deal, I have very little mana to work with, and I don't know if I can close it out. But if I just Dark Deal here, there is a chance that I find a card that can actually do it, and I'm gonna wanna have my mana ready for it when that happens.
Well, yeah, I think you just gotta decide, are you a gambler?
Let's take one last gamble at this. What's so bad about taking one last ride? Okay, I've got 1 shot at this.
Wow.
I've got to hit the NOS on my card.
I just hope you're not hitting it too early.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tap for 3 mana, and I'm gonna cast Dark Deal. So we're each gonna discard our hand and draw that many cards -1.
We figured out that Jimmy has to draw a 4-power black creature that he has the mana to cast. He's not a creature-heavy deck, so he's got to draw pretty well. He's only drawing 4 cards here. Oh boy.
Now I'll draw 4 off the top.
He's desperate. This needs to work for him, or I win.
Wait.
Hold up. Hold up. I'm pretty sure.
Should I head in my car and go home?
Oh man, I think I just drew into the wind. I will tap my Ancient Tomb, go to 3. I will cast a Dalthy Voidwalker. That's gonna trigger my Ayara.
Go to 8.
Go to 4, and I will play Vane Witch Coven. That'll trigger Ayara again, so you're gonna lose a life and I'll gain a life.
Go to 7.
It wasn't a single creature that had more power, but it's actually 2 creatures and more triggers for my Ayara. I will +1 the Aether Spark, and I will equip it to my Changeling Outcast. That will put a 1/1 counter on it. And then I will activate my Amonkhet Raceway, because I have max speed. And I will give my Dalthy Voidwalker haste.
That's exactsies.
Now go to combat, and I'll swing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the ground. Do you have any blocks?
I do not.
The max speed demon's gonna get there?
It's gonna get there. Life is a resource. Jimmy Wong, pretty resourceful.
Yeah! The tortoise and the hare! And my race car limps across the finish line. It's got 1 wheel left on it. It's busted all up. But you know what? It doesn't matter because I win the race! I'm the Drift King!
This really was a close race that was a photo finish down to the wire.
I took the lead, Rach took the lead, Jimmy took the lead, Josh took the lead, and then at the end it was a long stretch there and we were dragging down the whole way.
I have a long history with racing. I played Ted Wong in Video Game High School, who was famously known for being the Drift King by the end of the series. So getting to play a card like the Speed Demon just felt so fitting and perfect.
These commanders for this set are incredible.
The flavor of everything, the start your engines just feels speedy and cool.
There was a planeswalker equipment that did a lot of work in this game.
It's broken. Just say, okay?
It was so awesome to hear how Christian was a fan of the show, and just the energy he brought to the table was infectious.
The way he enjoys Magic is really relatable and just gives you warm, fuzzy feelings to see people across from the table that are having such a good time.
10 years ago, my best friend introduced me to Magic, and I gotta be honest, it took a long time for me to buy in, but once I did, I really felt like, no pun intended, I was part of the gathering. And it was just the biggest pleasure to be here playing with you guys.
Thanks everybody for watching this really fun episode of Game Nights. Make sure you tune into the next one, which we're gonna call 2 Game, 2 Nights. All right, well,
Yes.
Mr. Speed Demon, congratulations.
Yeah, I somehow dodged death, but I think that's when you see it in the race, it's like they're so far behind. They're not even a thought. And
It's
then
the tortoise? You were the tortoise?
Yeah, they limp over the finish
It's a
line.
weird name for a tortoise, Speed
Yeah,
Demon.
yeah. I
yeah.
found a really cool shortcut somehow that was like, wait a minute, you're not allowed to jump over half the track. It was like Mario Party.
I mean,
Mario
I gotta
Party.
say, the Ether Spark was like a really
What a crazy
so much
card.
better than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, 'cause
when
that-
you played, I was like, I don't think that card's very good. And then you started like getting 10 mana every turn. I was like, that card's insane.
Insane, yeah. The fact that you can't attack it is nuts. So I
Yeah.
thought the Wheel of Misfortune was the most interesting Wheel of Misfortune I've ever played in my life.
Yeah, that was one of the only Wheel of Misfortunes I've ever been part of where I legitimately wasn't quite sure what was going to happen. The funny thing was I knew everybody, especially you and Rachel, were like, there was a lot of gamesmanship. I
Yeah.
knew you were like pretending one thing when you
To
really
go to
wanted
max.
another, but
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
really hard to tell what amount of life was not going to get you in trouble, and life mattered a lot in that game. Yeah,
Yeah,
what a
no
game.
kidding.
Yeah, it was, everybody had like a pretty big turn and chance to win. I mean, Christian had the Tali
Two,
moment,
yeah,
and then
oh
the
my
Tybar with
gosh.
the Agatha. Yeah, it was really, really fun. One thing we want to mention before we finish up here is we did something in this episode that we've never done before, which is we had green screen as the background for one side of the table.
The entire background, yeah.
Yeah, so behind Rachel and Christian, because we wanted to put all those cool cars back there, but we started looking into how much it would cost to rent a bunch of like fancy cars.
It costs a lot.
And also we couldn't find necessarily the ones we wanted because we wanted that red Mustang.
Yeah.
So Sam and Evan, they were part of building that background and making it look really, really good. So give them some shout outs in the comments because these, our VFX guys do a tremendous job. And of course, Jake and Murph and Manson and Eric also work really hard in this episode, and I don't want to shortchange them at all, but it was really fun to do. It was like we were parked in like Tony Stark's garage.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And it felt really like the Fast and Furious sets and all that stuff too. So when I walked in that day, I was like, whoa!
Yeah, and I
we
should
turned it
shout out
up.
to Becky Bell, who we worked with for the first time as sort of an art director,
Yeah,
who did a
it's
lot
really
of the
cool.
background there as well, especially on the other side of the table. Becky's been on Extra Turns before, so yeah, definitely did a great job. Okay. Before we go, let's talk about a couple of things here. CardKingdom.com/command. Of course, if you want to pick up any of these really cool Aetherdrift cards, there's a lot of sweet stuff in this set.
Yeah,
of
energy
course, if you've
returns
been
and
watching
the
the
precons
podcast,
too.
yeah, a lot of energy stuff, a lot of really good cards. CardKingdom.com/command is the place to go to pick that stuff up. We love Card Kingdom because they are one retailer. You can get all of your stuff, put it in your cart. It comes all in one convenient package to your doorstep, and you don't have to mess with a bunch of different packages showing up over the course of time,
Yeah,
or you like
really.
one or two didn't get there, now you can't play your whole deck. That doesn't happen with Card Kingdom. You just order, you check out, it all comes. So CardKingdom.com/command. We can't give them any better endorsement than we literally use them ourselves all the time.
Yep, and ultrabro.com/command for when you get those cards, you want to find all the cool game accessories, either sleeves that are matched to the set. Now they're coming out with Apex sleeves for every single set. These are some of the best shuffle feel. No, it's just the best shuffle feel that we've seen from Ultra Pro ever. These sleeves are incredible. They also have the playmats that match the set. They have the deck boxes, everything that you want to really make your gameplay setup look awesome. So whether or not you're going with the Mana 8 line to make it nice and clean with that white, hopefully we'll see some people at MagicCon Chicago so we can sign those playmats.
Yep.
Or you want to find a playmat that just matches your commander perfectly. ultrapro.com/command has all of that and more. So make sure you check that stuff out so that you don't miss out. Every single time a new set comes out, new stuff comes out, and it's not there forever. So if you go to that affiliate link, ultrapro.com/command, you might even find some sweet deals, some other stuff that you may have missed in the past. And of course, you're always supporting the show when you do so.
Yeah, and also Ultra Pro gives us a bunch of swag to give away to you
that's
out
right.
there in audience world. And we always have all the players sign the playmat. So you get Christian Navarro's signature on the playmat if you win this. Yeah, so if you want to enter to win that stuff, we throw in some booster packs and some other swag from Ultra Pro. Jimmy, how do they enter?
Very simple. There are 3 ways to enter, and you can enter all 3 ways. The first is on Twitter/X. All you have to do is post a hashtag of game nights and the link to this episode. And then whatever you want to say commentary-wise. Cool episode. Really love Christian. Really wished Josh would win instead of Jimmy once for a while. You know,
Everyone's saying that.
And make that post on Twitter/X. If you're on Facebook, go to our Facebook page, find the post that shares this episode, and just tag one of your friends in the comments that you'd like to race with, perhaps, or that you think would be interested in the episode, maybe a fan of 13 Reasons Why.
Yep.
And if you're on Instagram, all you have to do is make any post using the hashtag Game Nights, and you have entered that way. So 3 different ways to enter. You can enter all 3 ways if you want. Give yourself 3 different chances to win. And you have 1 week from the release date of this episode to enter, after which we will be choosing the winners and announcing them, and that chance is going to be gone.
Yeah. So good luck to everybody out there. And
Good
before
luck.
we go, one last plug for MagicCon Chicago and Game Nights Live.
Let's go.
Yeah, we're really excited. It's going to be February 21st through the 23rd is the entire event. Game Nights Live is playing on Friday evening. That's the 21st at 6 p.m. in the RE Theater, which is in the same building as the convention hall, right outside of Hall E. So you don't have to go outside in February Chicago
coldest,
weather
yeah.
to get there. Yeah, it is at 6 p.m., which is a little bit later than we have done it at past conventions. We're trying something new, and I think this is good because it won't interrupt people's events and stuff that they're playing in as much.
Yeah.
So if you want to come see the greatest show in the multiverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've actually announced all of the guests and players. So it's going to be me, Jimmy, Rachel, her hometown is Chicago, Allie Beardsley, who you might know from Dropout and Dimension 20.
Yeah, they're great.
And then the commentary will be from Gavin Verhey and Becca Scott. So going to be a really fun
Killer
show.
lineup.
Yeah, and of course, a lot of our Command Zone staff also involved in a lot of different parts of the show. We've got new things planned because we are in a new venue. If you haven't seen the show before, or if you have, we think it's the best part of the weekend, and hopefully we see you there.
And we can fit more people there as well.
That's
and
right.
you only need a Friday badge or a weekend badge. If you can get into the convention on Friday, you can go to the show. So
Yeah, no additional ticket necessary.
They start at 6 p.m., correct?
Yep.
Yep, so if you want to get good seats, obviously get there a little bit early so you can get in front of the crowds. And it will be crowded, that's for sure. We're excited to see everyone there.
Yeah, and if you can't make the show on Friday, but you're going to be Saturday and Sunday at the convention, Jimmy, myself, Rachel, our whole team, a bunch of other creators I know are going to be there.
Yeah, the Creator Corner.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to be doing meet and greets. We're going to be looking for games. Hopefully we'll see you there.
Yeah, we'll sign and take pictures. You know, we'll do all of it. So we'll hopefully see you at MagicCon Chicago. It was one of our favorite shows last year, and we look forward to it again this year.
All right, everybody. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Peace. 3, 2, 1. Ooh. All right, well, Christian, it is your first time on the show. Vroom, vroom.
Josh, playing make-believe.
All right, vroom vroom.
Vroom, vroom.
Oh, geez.
Playing Legos over here.